Defeated. I wanted to understand you, to assimilate your strength. Arthur, your gesture serves no logical purpose. You are as incomprehensible as these mortals. But you did not fight them. How have you become like them?
Omega, the anomaly you see in us, the answer you search for, it is in our heart, our spirit, the intangible strength of one's soul. It is not a quality that can be measured or acquired through any amount of analytical combat. Instead of fighting against us, you might have learned more by standing with us, just as Alpha did.
Heart. You speak of something more than what beats in your chest. The inconstant, immeasurable factor behind your victories. Midgard Soma displayed it too, but such unpredictable potential was never part of my design. Projection. Had I integrated this quality, how powerful would I have become? Strong enough to return?
Nay, Omega. I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. It was a long, lonely path you traveled to arrive here. To return across this vast distance alone, anyone with a spirit to break would find the journey more difficult, not less so.
I see. I think I understand.
The rift, it's destabilizing. Gods take me for a fool, I hadn't planned past defeating Omega. What did... Wait. Wastevilga? Chief! Serenia! Alpha! Hold on, we're coming! Wedge? And Biggs with him. On the back of a huge dragon. Wastevilga! Midgard Soma sent us to rescue you. Explanations can wait. Hop on, quick! Wastevilga, was it? Our thanks. You pulled us out of a tight spot indeed. Spare me thy pleasantries, mortal. I but lent my wings at the request of my sire. So Midgard Soma has been watching over us. I would dare give thanks to him as well. His intervention allowed us to continue our battle, and forever remove the threat of Omega from this world, from all worlds. In all the long centuries of mine existence, this marks the first occasion my father hath asked of me a boon. A gift of gratitude, and mayhap of atonement for those who would face the deadly foe he left behind. Will he remain in slumber? 'Tis likely, little one. What is but a fleeting respite for my sire might last lesser creatures' lifetime. But let not thy heart be troubled. Even in dream he does keep his mind's eye upon the fate of his star. He is possessed of remarkable devotion, is mayhap the closest word in the tongue of man. His love is as boundless as the sea of stars, across which he carried his unhatched brood. It did sustain him, even as the arduous journey exhausted the fire in his mane. And when he at last arrived upon Heidelin, a sanctuary for his children, did he form with this land an irreplaceable bond. Enough. I have spoken overmuch, but I will praise your victory, as my father would surely wish to, were he here. Well, I can add being rescued by a great rum to the list of things I didn't expect to happen today. It was fortunate Weisberger agreed to come for us. Yeah, we had to defeat Omega at any cost, of course, but I much prefer being alive to celebrate the deed. Did you see the yarn? It's just a huge hole again. You get something. Ugh, so glad we got you out of there. I don't know what we would have done if Raceworker hadn't come along. The situation being what it was, Wedge and I came out to the yarn to see if we could lend you a hand. Chirurgeon's orders be damned. That's when we saw the ether bubbling like hot water in a pot. Just as we were debating whether or not we should jump in, that big surly dragon flew down to explain the anomaly. Then he offered us a ride. And the rest you already know. Jesse will be relieved to hear that Omega is gone and you lot are safe. I say we head straight back to Valga's region and let everyone know the good news. Alpha staring quietly into the now empty yawn. Quack. They say it's just a myth, but surely you've earned one this time, Serenia. You know, a big fat company bonus. It's a myth. Go on. You should be one to tell her. Poor Jessie, her nerves must be worn thin after all that. Welcome back, Serenia. You truly are a force to be reckoned with. If ever there's another Omega, I'd wager it'll skip the experiments and go straight to generating a simulacrum of you. Not that I'd want that to happen. And besides, I don't think anyone can truly mimic your unique strengths. You are our one-of-a-kind hero. So, does this mean we don't need to worry about Omega's monsters invading our world anymore? Aye. All of its creations vanished along with the Rift itself. With Omega defeated, we averted that particular catastrophe before it began. Serenia struck the killing blow, of course, but we never would have made it to that point without everyone's hard work and support. Once again, I'm sincerely grateful to be surrounded by such wonderful colleagues. Not to spoil the moment, Chief, but the Alliance leaders are anxious to learn of Omega's fate. When every head of state is clamoring for a report, we can't very well ignore them. How much do you mean to tell them? How much indeed? All of it. When it comes to a threat of Omega's magnitude, we have a duty to reassure our allies that the world is not coming to an end. And the best way to do that is to report every last detail. I'm surprised at you, Chief. I was almost certain you'd want to muddy the waters to prevent knowledge of this technology falling into the wrong hands. Or something similar. I doubt anyone outside our particular circle would even believe the tale. Experiments taking place in a rift between dimensions, facing off against villains recreated from history and legend, battling godlike beings from other worlds. And even assuming some ambitious fellow schemed to build an Omega of his own. The technology required is as far beyond our reach as that of terrible weapons Homestar. A distant dream. Right, you heard the Chief. We missed our chance on the front lines, but there's plenty of work left to be done. Round up everyone who's standing idle and get moving on those reports. And don't forget to contact our people still out in the field. Thank you, Jessie. I'll leave things in your capable... Not so fast, Master Garland. You count as part of a support team as well. Serenia did all the fighting and Alpha did all the running, but surely you have energies to spare? Who exactly did you expect to sign off on those official reports? And even without that little shore, you have a pile of other company tasks that have grown ass high to an Aurex while you've been tending to this whole Omega business. Most importantly, isn't there someone else you should be sharing this victory with? Aye. I should probably head over to the infirmary right away. Meanwhile, you should take a well-earned rest. I don't think there's a way to properly reward you for all you've accomplished, but I see what I can do. I'm just glad to have everyone back in one piece. Take care of yourself, Serenia. What are your plans now, Alpha? With Omega Gun, you're your own chocobo now. You can do whatever you want. Anything at all. You want to go outside? Did you have some place in mind? Come on, Wedge. Get those fell legs moving, or I'll leave it without you. On my way! Alpha seems eager to see what Walga's reach has to offer. Shall we go for a walk? Alpha appears to be watching the inhabitants of Valga's reach with great interest. He was not here? Eh? No, Chief. He said he needed time away for recuperation and then he left. Recuperation? His wounds must be troubling him more than he let on. He asked me to give you this. What's this? A receipt for payment? It covers the cost for the following items: additional machine parts and implements, supplemental reference publications, expenses incurred in upgrading Magitech armor and gunhammer, funds spent on idle research during enforced convalescence. Oh, and this also includes a large sum listed as gratuity for exceptional services rendered. The entire amount was charged in your name, Master Garland. Find him. I want everyone searching for Nero right now. Everyone! Mausoleum. Alpha appears to sense the solemn purpose of his place. A gentle pet might rouse him from his sudden melancholy. Pet? Ah, hello. What are you two up to? Taking the sights, were you? And by the looks of things, you're eager to venture a little further afield. Well, if Serenia has no problem with it, then neither do I. Just don't go too far, alright? Not good enough? I'm sorry, Alpha, but we're all a bit too busy to show you around the fringes right now. And I'm not too sure about sending you out there alone. When you think about it, this world is completely new to Alpha, and all he's done so far is travel back and forth between the Reach and beyond. I bet his head is filled with question and curiosity. He doesn't want to be taken for a walk. He wants to go on an adventure. Alpha's not some helpless chick pigs. He's stronger than you or me, and I wish I was half as brave. He should be allowed to... Listen, I'm going to talk to the chief about this. You're an employee, so there are certain rules we have to follow. I'm not saying I'm against the idea, and I'm willing to admit that Wedge has a point. But as I said, we've got important jobs to take care of, the chief included. Can you wait a little longer? Serenia, would you mind keeping Alpha company until we get back? I promise, we'll be quick. Sorry to keep you waiting. My desk was covered in paperwork, but I've managed to clear away the most pressing matters. Now then, Alpha, I hear your heart is set on a journey of some kind. I just want to be sure. But you aren't leaving because you think you tricked us into the rift or because you're Omega's creation or anything like that, are you? I would have stopped you if that was the case. Pure curiosity, on the other hand, is something I like to encourage. Exploring, interacting with the world. I think the experience will be good for him. Despite Omega's power, its potential to learn was hobbled by hostile directives. Alpha, on the other hand, is free to grow as he pleases. Very well, Alpha. As the Chief Engineer of Garland Ironworks, I hereby grant you unlimited leave to pursue personal research. Travel far and wide and take in everything these lands have to offer. But do come back when you're ready. I'd hate to lose such a valuable employee. Alpha, I miss you so much. You be careful out there. If anyone seems suspicious or shady, you stay away from them. Even if they offer you treats. And make sure you greet folks with a cheerful queer. That they might not understand you, but at least they know you mean no harm. I'm sure you'll make new friends in no time. You just be yourself, you hear me? Huh? What the hell's... Ah, we forgot to shut it down. This is a model Omega that Reg and I were working on. We built it while we were resting, thinking it might be useful for figuring out strategies or something. Not much use now, I suppose. What, you want to keep it? It's just a toy that'll follow you around. If you're happy with that, then it's all yours. And so Alpha and Omega go on a journey. Bye, Alpha. Fair journey to you, Alpha. Take care.
Thank you, Serenia. I'm off to see the world.
Something amiss? I just understood him there. That's strange. The Echo never allowed you to understand him before. This is just a theory, mind you, but assuming the absence of a soul is what prevented you from hearing Alpha's voice in the first place, then does it not follow the reason you hear it now that is, Aye, a little miracle, and it explains his sudden urge to travel. For a newborn soul, this world is brimming with unseen wonders. I've seen this from a streamer actually, but you can now, from time to time, actually find Alpha and Omega traveling. When they stand at sightseeing points and just look out into the distance and stuff like that. And so your journey begins. I almost envy you, Alpha. So many new things for you to discover. Speaking of which, what travel marvels can I trouble my old friend with? Now, the only question I have is, do you believe this is a toy Omega, or has somehow Omega uploaded its conscious into that thing before dying and is now exploring mortals with Alpha together? I hope Alpha enjoys this adventure. There's so much danger out there for one little chocobo. No, I'm sure he's fine. And dwelling on such things is not productive in the least. Why don't we discuss a happier subject, like your long-awaited bonus? We drained the coffers to fund your expedition, but why settle for coin when you can have the latest automaton technology? That's right, we're gifting you a premium mammoth, the one-of-a-kind master model for merchandise copies, constructed of patented ironworks quality. I present to you the Clockwork Alpha. Yeah, you get an Alpha minion now. Whenever you bring it out on your travels, may it remind you of a real Alpha, quailing along under some distant sky. Just the thought of it brings a smile to my face. That and the free advertising. Okay, and that ends the story of Omega, for now at least. And this is probably the Savage Raids. Anyway, I end this episode here, and until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I am Mace, and don't get lost.